Hello and welcome back to another Fear the Walking Dead video, and today I'll be talking about Morgan's exit in the mid-season finale of the final season of Fear, why I really liked it, and will we see Morgan again, and will he reunite with Rick? I have to say straight off the bat, this is definitely the perfect ending for Morgan. It finishes off his arc on Fear and finishes off his arc throughout all of The Walking Dead. It is a perfect way to end Morgan's story with a happy ending, not Morgan dying, him actually going off to go and find Rick. And it's a great little callback to many seasons ago, season 1 of The Walking Dead, with him talking over the walkie-talkie, which is what Rick did. It is a perfect ending for Morgan with all those little Easter eggs, seeing what got him to that point in time. And I really like the speech where he's talking to Eastman's grave about how his staff has changed and how he has changed too. And it's a great way to send Morgan off. And even though the Padre arc was not very good, the way that Morgan was written in that arc was really good. It was a great way to write out Morgan, and it made sense for the character. He just wanted his family safe, so he got rid of Mo and he's going to go and find Rick to show like, hey, I found a family. It is just a perfect ending for Morgan, and it's the ending I wanted for Morgan. I was really scared that they weren't going to do something like this for Morgan, and I was a bit worried, honest, that they might kill him in the final season, because we knew that Lady James was like, we've told Morgan's story, I'm done for Morgan, and all that type of stuff. And I was like, maybe they're going to kill off Morgan, or they'll have Morgan live with Mo and that be it. But having him going off to find Rick is absolutely perfect. And will we see Morgan again, and will he reunite with Rick? This is a tricky one, but I'm going to say right now, I believe it could happen, even though Lenny James has stated that this is the end for Morgan. He's retiring the character, but he has said he would be open to come back if it was a new interesting story. He doesn't want to come back and play Morgan again and do the same story that he's been doing for years, with Morgan having PTSD and having this mental instability of becoming clear and all life is precious. They've fixed that, they finished that, Morgan's moved past that, so there's only one more thing left for Morgan, and I think it's the only thing that Lenny James would come back for, is to have that reunion with Rick, have him go off and find Rick and see him do that. And I think that's the only thing he'll come back for. He has stated before that he would love to work with Andrew Lincoln again. He really likes working with Andrew Lincoln. And he has stated before, if Morgan ever found out Rick was gone, he would drop what he's doing and go and find Rick. So there's lots of little hints that the only way he will come back is to go and find Rick. And that means if we're ever going to see Morgan again, it has to be in Summit. No other show. He wouldn't appear up in a show to be like, I'm going to go find Rick, but I'm going to mess around in France for a few seasons. I'm going to mess around in Dead City for a bit. No. He would only appear in Summit, and I definitely believe Summit is going to get a season 2. It's going to be some of that. They're not going to do 6 episodes and done. Summit is going to be a 2-season show. 100%. And if it's not a 2-season show, Morgan will definitely have some sort of cameo in the final episode of the miniseries. It makes a lot of sense. And it could be something just small as maybe a post-credit scene where they reunite, or just a shot. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can just be a 1 or 2 day shoot just to get Morgan to have a final scene with Rick in that show. And this is definitely the only place where those two characters can reunite. And what really helps me to believe that Morgan will appear in The Walking Dead Summer in maybe a season 2 or a cameo in season 1 or the only season of Summit is that we know the final episode of season 1 or the final episode of Summit was mostly filmed inside. And with them being able to, AMC showing that they can hide the fact that Rick returned for the final episode of The Walking Dead, they can hide the fact that Morgan makes a cameo. Maybe they're not filmed in the same location. Maybe in the final episode of Summit, we hear Morgan's voice over the walkie-talkie, and it insinuates that they eventually meet up. We hear Morgan's voice being like, this is a message to Rick Grimes. Rick cuts in, and it ends with maybe those two guys setting up a meet-up location. That would be good enough for me, and that would perfectly end Morgan's story, with them finally reuniting. Even if it's off-screen, them reuniting over the walkie is good enough for me. And that is super simple. They don't even have to bring Lenny James back. They can just use the audio, the archive audio from Fear, and bam, you have a Morgan cameo. But I think they would do more. They would bring him back for a shoot. And because of the technology of today, they don't even have to have Lenny James in the same place as Andrew Lincoln. You could have Lenny James film his shots somewhere else in maybe a screen, something like that, or in a random building so that no one knows he has a cameo, and then have Andrew Lincoln film his shots with a stand-in and then put them together. It's that simple. With the technology today, we can easily do a shot like that, and no one will know that Morgan has a cameo. It is definitely going to happen. Morgan and Rick are definitely going to have an on-screen reunion, and I don't think it's more likely than Daryl or something like that. I think because Daryl's got a spin-off in France, he's probably never actually going to have an on-screen reunion with Rick. But with Morgan, it is just a matter of time for those two characters to have a reunion. And what do you think? Do you think they're going to give Summit Season 2? Because if they do, I definitely think Morgan would be in Summit Season 2. And he would have more than just a cameo. If there's only one season of The Walking Dead Summit, or whatever it's going to be called, he's definitely going to have just a small cameo and not really an arc. I hope there's a Season 2 of Summit so we get some sort of arc. But I'd like to know all your thoughts and opinions down below. Did you like Morgan's exit? Personally, I think it was absolutely perfect. Do you think Rick and Morgan will ever reunite? And do you think we'll ever see Morgan again in general? If they never reunite, do you think we'll ever see Morgan? I'd like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. But this is it for me today, so make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Walking Dead. So goodbye, peace out, and I'll talk to you in my next video.